Hey, I'm Cameron, on YouTube as The Busy Gardener, and you are watching The Urban Gardener.
So all right, everybody, welcome to another episode of The Urban Gardener. I want to thank you all so much for joining with me here today. And if you haven't already, please get down below there, hit that subscribe button, and follow along with more garden adventures as we continue growing here on The Urban Gardener. And today, we're bringing you another video from our visit to Los Angeles, and we're here in the urban orchard of the YouTube channel, The Busy Gardener. Cameron here at The Busy Gardener is going to give us a nice little tour around his cool urban orchard. He's got a lot of really great fruit trees growing here. So all right, here we are in Cameron's orchard. He's got a channel called The Busy Garden. Cameron, thanks for joining us here today.
Yeah, what's up, you guys?
All right, yeah, and Cameron's gonna show us around his orchard here. He's got a bunch of really cool things growing right here in the city. So let's check out some of the things that Cameron's got growing on.
Hey, so welcome to the orchard, Enoch. This is awesome. So we're located in Southern California and have about 5,500 square feet that we devoted to an orchard. I started out a little over 9 years ago planting 9 fruit trees in the space where just a single car goes, with this concept called backyard orchard culture. And the main idea is that the backyard grower has different objectives than the commercial grower. And so we're able to keep things a lot closer, a lot shorter, and a lot more manageable. And it makes it manageable for somebody like me or for somebody like you in your backyard orchard. So we've got some successes back here and things that I've been really excited about. I would like to share some of those with you. First thing that I've been so jazzed about is this tree called the jujube. And jujube is this funny little thing that you always hear and you think of as being those little candy at the movie theater, but these end up being, these things are called Chinese dates is another word for them. And these grow, and this is an amazing fruit. It is drought tolerant, it's pest resistant, and I've been so happy with this. So jujube, if you haven't tried one, you can sometimes find the fruit in Asian markets, places like that. Not usually that mainstream, but that makes this also a really good one to plant out near the sidewalk because most people won't touch them either because they won't know what it is. So that's kind of cool. Something that we have a lot of here in Southern California are citrus. In fact, our house was built on what was formerly lemon groves. And so there was commercial citrus happening right here. So we were also growing some citrus. And here you see that our citrus has grown pretty big in the last few years. We've got a couple of unique varieties here. One is called the Mandelo, which is another name for it. They call it a cocktail grapefruit hybrid, which I love a lot. It tastes like grapefruit, but it's not as bitter. It's a lot more sweet than regular grapefruit. And then here we have this thing called a Tangelo. Now, the fruit is all really young and immature. It set a bunch of fruit for this year, so we're gonna have a pretty heavy crop next year. This is loaded 10, 20 fruit just in the first foot or two of this tree canopy. But these are a couple of unique types that have been formed and developed, crosses that give a unique fruit besides your regular mandarin or your regular orange. And I like trying new things. Up here, I counted on our property, we have between this back orchard here and in the front, we have something like 80 trees right now. And we're adding more because I'm propagating some and I've got some others on deck. Come on this way, I'd like to show you something that's unique for Southern California. This here is our 3-in-1 cherry combo. And cherries are really awesome because usually those are needed to grow in colder climates. So that way you're getting enough chill hours. And this has been developed through just breeding, really, to be able to have a low chill requirement. And so the Mini Royal and Royal Lee cherries are the main warm weather cherry crop. They've got another one now, Royal Crimson, which I planted. It's a tiny one over there if you want to take a look at it. And this Royal Crimson is going to be bridging the gap in pollinating between the Mini Royal and Royal Lee. You want as many opportunities for cross-pollination to happen so that way you get a heavier fruit set. And so growing cherries in Southern California, such a novelty, and being able to come out and pick a cherry off and eat it fresh is amazing. Got blown out by birds this last year, so we've got a bunch of little just empty seeds where the birds totally just ate it all up made me crazy. So we've got some bird deterrent stuff that we built this year. We'll see how it does on some of our other fruit. It's neat with cherries. This really kicks off the stone fruit season for us in May. We start having fruit. We've got stone fruit all the way through August. And so we've got cherries and plums and peaches and nectarines and all of that stuff. So here I have my lemon lime combo, and I'm using that backyard orchard culture style of planting here, where I've got 3 different citrus trees all planted in a single space, kind of like we had with the cherry. That's a method that I use really heavily back here. And one nice thing about that is we're able to get variety in the space where we'd normally have just a single tree. We've now got 3 different types of citrus, or 4 different types of citrus, as you know, however you plant it. So this Eureka lemon, this Persian lime, and this Pomona sweet lemon are all taking up the space and give us a variety of fruit, give us these kind of are ever bearing, but especially for the stone fruit, you get this successive ripening where one fruit is ripe, then another fruit is ripe, then another fruit is ripe, all in the space of a single tree. So really happy about this method. I think it's very accessible for the backyard grower. I think you should really consider it. If you have the space for a single tree, you truly do have the space for 3 or even 4 trees. Behind this citrus is another thing I'm really excited about, kind of a happy accident, if you will. And if you come close, you'll notice these amazing flowers here. Look at these blooms. This is a passion fruit. And the passion fruit, or sometimes it would be called the passion flower, is such a gorgeous ornamental, but what it turns into is the actual passion fruit. Let me see, we've got one hanging down here. So here we've got this blooming while we've got this thing is just loaded with fruit. I think we're probably going to have 1,000 fruit on this thing this year. The front and the back of this fence are totally covered. Now, the genesis for this was we put this fence in and we didn't want to just look at chain link. And so I thought, well, I want to put something on there, but I don't want just any vine. I want something that's going to fruit. And so we planted this passion fruit. I'd never even had a passion fruit before. But once we planted it, half of our family likes it, half of us hate it. I actually like it. But being able to come out, provide this privacy with such a gorgeous hedge, and to be able to get fruit off of this is pretty astounding. Something I wasn't prepared for is the fact that this entire fence is covered by a single vine. So there's something like 45 or 50 feet, maybe even more because it's wrapped around, came off of a single plant, and I'm just blown away by that. And so very, very happy about this. Speaking of flowers, there's one other flower I want to make sure that you see. This is an exciting event. The dragon fruit flower is something that blooms like for one day, and it has to be pollinated that day in order to fruit. So we caught this at the perfect time. Dragon fruit, if you haven't seen the fruit itself, it's this amazing fruit with all of these, looks like tendrils or tentacles coming off of it. And the plant itself is just essentially a tropical cactus, but it blooms and it has almost what look like these scales on it that pop open into this gorgeous, gorgeous flower. So we caught the timing really well here with this dragon fruit flower. We've got a couple more that have bloomed up on the top that I'm going to come through and hand pollinate just to make sure we get a really, really good pollination.
So, all right, Cameron, thank you so much for showing us around your garden here. It's been great to come out and visit and check out what you've got going here. You've got a really awesome orchard. There's just so many different trees here that we can't possibly fit them all in on the tour there. But yeah, you've got some really cool things growing on. Really did like seeing that flower off of your dragon fruit tree. That is really cool. This passion fruit behind us is really completely amazing, how it takes over that whole fence there. I wanted to ask you though, you've had your YouTube channel now, and I'm just going to mention right up front, one of the reasons why I came to visit though too is because you just recently passed 10,000 subscribers on your channel.
Yes.
As we're down visiting here in Los Angeles, we've just passed 10,000 too.
Isn't that exciting?
So it's really exciting. It is. I didn't really think at first that I would get much of anything. I was just going to do some backyard garden videos, and maybe share them with a few friends and all of that. And then next thing you know, it's turned into all of this, and I'm here visiting with you
That's
here
so
in
cool.
Los Angeles.
This is so
it's
much fun.
great. It is so much fun. It's fun to be able to get out and see all of these really cool things that gardeners are doing in different places around the country, and especially down here where in Southern California, where you get to grow such a great variety of trees and
Kind of everything.
Yeah. So how did you get started doing your orchard here?
It was kind of on a whim.
Yeah.
It was like a month before our son was born,
Yeah.
and I was online and I saw this thing, this backyard orchard culture with Tom Spellman of Dave Wilson Nursery.
Oh, okay.
And the idea was, oh no, you can keep these trees, you can plant them in your backyard, keep them really small and manageable. And I thought, I can do this.
Yeah.
And it was bare root season, and so I ran out and I went literally, I said, honey, I'll be back. And I came back with 9 fruit trees, a pomegranate, 4 apples, and 4 stone fruit, and planted them all 9 years ago. And that's what got me started watching those things grow.
Yeah. And so then it just kind of, as they were succeeding and growing, you just kept going back, picking up more
Yeah,
trees.
well, I
and-
got a little obsessed because I saw how those were growing, and I knew that we had this unused space up here. It was totally just dust and dirt.
Right.
And so we said, hey, we want to make use of this space. And so I started planning what the orchard could look like.
Yeah.
Every Tom Spellman video, my wife was making fun of me every time she'd hear a video come on. She says, oh, did he make another video? Because I'm so intrigued and I'm so passionate about
Right.
growing. It's neat.
Yeah.
There's a bit of struggle that goes with it,
Yeah.
which is a lot of fun.
Excellent. So yeah, so then you found that and you started planting up here and all of that. What drove you and made you decide to go ahead and start putting yourself on video and YouTube and sharing all of that with everybody?
Well, I started putting stuff on YouTube because that's where I learned.
Yeah.
I was scouring
Exactly.
YouTube and watching these videos that were telling me how to do stuff in my orchard, and I wanted to be able to share because if you're like me, you are looking for ideas and ways to do things better.
Yep.
And so that's what prompted it was wanting to create something that was going to help somebody the way that those videos helped me.
Yeah, exactly. And that was kind of the same thing for me. You know, I really really went into YouTube big time, you know, when I started gardening. That's when I first started finding all these great personalities in the gardening community who are sharing all of these things. And I was just learning and learning so much because I just started maybe 8 years ago in gardening. And just as I was learning, that's exactly what I was kind of thinking, oh, wow, well, I had to adjust some things.
Yeah.
And I had to do a little bit different than what I was kind of getting from some other videos. And then was kind of like, well, maybe some people might want to know about some of those things that I've learned in that process too,
Yeah.
as well too. And that's really a great thing to be able to do and get out and share. And it's really appreciate people who do take the time to be able to get into their gardens, because I think that was one of the things we talked about off camera before we got started, is the time it takes to do things and make videos.
Yes.
And I don't know if we're necessarily sacrificing anything in the garden necessarily, but yet, you know, it is a little bit of an effort, and but something that when I find myself finishing a video, it's just so worth it when it comes down to it.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is people experiencing the video and saying that it has helped them. It gave them some courage to do something that they hadn't before. That's the thing, is I believe that everybody should be able to grow healthy fruits and vegetables in their garden.
Yeah.
And so being able to watch videos, seeing how somebody like me, I'm not a professional gardener.
Yeah.
I'm a backyard guy. I'm going to leave after this and I'm going to my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
and so I mean
That's
the
right.
accessibility of it is really what drives me, because somebody might look and go, "Oh, this is inaccessible. I can't do it." Well, if I can do it, then you can do it.
That's right, and that's the great thing about it, because that was exactly the case for me. It was like I was hearing from people like yourself on videos, people like myself, as I'm encouraging people too, who were saying that same thing, and then here I am later. I've done it. I've gone through that process and really learning, and it just goes to show you the value of people who get out and make videos to share their gardening with everybody else. And Cameron, I really want to thank you for letting us come over to visit you and check out your garden here, your orchard, in fact, here in Los Angeles. It's such a really wonderful place. Thanks again. I
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
Thanks, Enoch.
And everybody out there, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that like button. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything at all, if you have a question for Cameron, get down in the comment section below. Let us know what you got on your mind. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please hit that subscribe button. In fact, hit that bell notification to be notified of upcoming episodes. And we'll see all of you on our next one.
Hey, I'm Cameron. What? So I'm saying I'm Cameron from The Busy Gardener?
Yeah.
You can find me on YouTube at The Busy Gardener.
Gardener's YouTube. We've got another visit from our visit. He's going to show us around it. Oh, that's not what I wanted to say. I wanted to give you a chance to say hi. Of Cameron's bit.
I shoot like 12 intros.
Yeah, I know. Well, the cool thing too is that I know I mess up, and when you do this stuff, you know what I mean, and they're there. So I kind of go with like, I know I do, and it's I have a little humility in it all, and then I give everybody some of those mess ups and those outtakes at the end of the video. So if you watch the whole video, you get a little bonus in seeing me mess up and stumble over myself all over.
Did I say I take a bunch of inches? No, I never mess up. First shot every time.
First shot every time.
I didn't know this was recording.
Yeah, it's on, you see?